Hi everybody, my name's Kai and welcome to the 480 podcast. This is my segment, Kai's Corner. Today we're going to be talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks and how this might be one of their best and most impactful drafts in recent memory. The Arizona Diamondbacks proved to everybody that they are indeed a World Series contending team last season after going all the way and unfortunately losing to the Texas Rangers. However, Arizona got right back on the saddle and they signed three big names. Jordan Montgomery, a former World Series champion, as well as a top 10 MLB pitcher at the time, as well as Eugenio Suarez, a crazy bat from Seattle, as well as Eduardo Rodriguez, one of the best pitchers from Detroit. Arizona knew that these were three big signings, and they were really hoping for a very strong first half. However, things have been extremely shaky. Arizona lost two of their biggest aces. Merrill Kelly and Eduardo Rodriguez both won't be back till the second half, which has been a really big blow on the five-man rotation. Also, Arizona's two best young stars, Alek Thomas and Corbin Carroll, have not been living up to the hype for this season as they were last year. Corbin Carroll and Alek Thomas are both struggling right now, and it's about as hard as it gets, to be honest. Corbin Carroll is batting about 100 less than what he was last year, and Alek Thomas is struggling to maintain a 170 batting average. Jordan Montgomery, on the other hand, has also been an extremely disappointing player. Jordan Montgomery was literally one of the best pitchers last year, especially going into the postseason, and has been an absolute dud for Arizona. He's been throwing a 7.00 ERA as well as a opponent batting average of 330. The Arizona Diamondbacks did also sign Eugenio Suarez, who's been batting pretty mid, to be honest with you guys. He's batting about a 210 with about 10 homers and 40 RBIs. However, I think Arizona's biggest positional needs, even though Christian Walker is doing really great this season, he is unfortunately getting old, and I do think it is nice to target some first baseman, third baseman, maybe one more outfielder, and some nice righty-lefty arms. So, these are just some of my picks that I think Arizona should pick up if they fall to these certain picks, just in case. So, one of the first people that I definitely should recommend for Arizona to snag is Tommy White. Tommy White, in my opinion, is one of the best players on the entire MLB Draft board. I think they robbed him of his ranking. I personally loved watching him during the 2022 LSU run that he had with Paul Skeens. I think Tommy is an outstanding third baseman for LSU, and he has now been ranked, I think, 20th in the entire draft prospect ranking. And the D-backs' first pick is in the 29th round. Just to let you guys know, they have picks in the 29th, 31st, as well as the 35th. So, just to let you guys know, Arizona does have three picks in the first round that they can all use on stars, but they need to be very selective with who they pick. Tommy White is a guy that I am willing to go all in for. Tommy White finished his entire career at LSU with a 355 batting average, a 420 OBP, a 704 OPS, and over 750 plate appearances, had 75 homers and 250 RBIs. I think that is an insane stat line, and I think Tommy White would be an amazing third baseman. However, lots of people are saying that he might be going to Philly, and for me, that's very hard to believe, especially watching Philly just sign a contract extension with Alec Boehm, who has just been named an All-Star. I think it is a very bad decision on Philly's part to use their first-round pick on a third baseman. However, for Tommy White, though, it's also completely understandable because I think he is the best third baseman on the entire draft board. However, I do also think the second best third baseman is Billy Amick, a third baseman from Tennessee who played 2 years at Clemson and is now ranked number 31st out of all draft prospects. He played a very pivotal role, too, in the NCAA World Series Championship for Tennessee after he batted a 304 with 23 homers and 65 RBIs last season and a OPS of 1.026 within a 65-game span. I think Billy Amick is a great third baseman for Arizona, and I also think that he would fit in very well. And that's something I think Tommy White would do very well in too in AZ, is he's a very eccentric guy, likes to have fun, and in my opinion, I think he's just an all-around vibe. I think he would also fit into Arizona's environment really well, and both of these guys have both played first base before, and they can switch their defensive roles whenever the coaches need them to. So some of my next picks as well is that I think Dakota Jordan, a name you guys will start hearing closer to when Arizona's up, because I feel like it's almost a gimme at this point. Dakota is an outfielder out of Mississippi, ranked the 34th best prospect in the draft. He would be an amazing guy to have, especially with Arizona's up-and-coming young outfield, with players such as Drew Jones, Corbin Carroll, who will definitely hop back on the saddle, and the same exact thing will happen with Alek Thomas. I think having Dakota Jordan would just put them over almost everything else. I think Dakota will definitely build into like one of the better younger outfielders when he finally gets called up. I just think he's a guy who has a lot of power and a lot of speed, and I think that there's not really too much in his way, and I think Dakota has a lot going for him, and just seeing him with a ball club that like feels right would just expand every single tool of his game. I just think Dakota Jordan's a great outfielder. He finished with a 336 average with 30 bombs and 112 RBIs in 107 games. He has a lot of character to the clubhouse too, and can definitely provide for the D-backs with his super speed on the field and the base paths, as well as his insane bat speed. Even though he doesn't really have too many stolen bases, he had 4 last year, but he had 86 runs in 90 game span. So I think he's a very fast guy, and I think too with the right amount of coaching, I think Dakota Jordan would also become an absolute menace on the base paths to most. So I think that's another great pickup there too for Arizona. But here's where I start getting into some of my pitchers. I think someone within the realm of like Ben Hess, Illinois' best high school pitcher back in 2021. He committed to Alabama, and he has a really great pitching repertoire with a fastball, slider, changeup. I think he also has a curveball too in there for the mix. So I think that's a very good overall repertoire to have, especially when you're entering your minor league career. I think Ben Hess is a really good guy to be looking at. He averaged about 109 strikeouts last year, which was amazing considering he threw about, I think, 40 the year before. And I think Ben Hess is a great righty that I just think brings a lot to the table. And he is the 44th ranked prospect in the draft rankings as well. One of the guys, too, that was mentioned earlier back in December, January-ish for this draft for Arizona was Jonathan Santucci. And I think Jonathan is a great southpaw. And I want to look past his injury, by the way. Just for anybody who doesn't know, he had bone chips removed in his elbow. And even then, I think that Jonathan is a star out of Duke. I forget where his ranking is on the draft list, but I do think Jonathan is a definite must if he does fall down to the 35th pick for Arizona. He doubled in strikeouts, a K per 9, hit per 9, home run per 9, almost everything. So I think Jonathan Santucci has a really good case going for him right now, and I think he's a good guy for Arizona. I think he fits the role. I think he does everything he needs to, and I think he really shows that he just wants to play ball. And that's something I really like about any guy, basically, but especially from Jonathan. I like everything he stands for, and I think he's going to be a great guy no matter where he goes. The two more things I want to talk about was there's Slade Caldwell, an outfielder that's going to get talked a lot as well, coming into the 29th, 31st pick. I like Slade Caldwell, don't get me wrong, but I think Dakota is just so much more of a better player. Even the scouting report on Dakota is better, and I still don't even know why Slade is above him for that, especially when like Dakota's power, running, and arm is all better than Slade's, but Slade's still ranked higher. I don't really understand that, but yeah, I'm siding with Dakota. I think Slade is a good choice too, but I definitely think Dakota would be a way better outfielder to build around as well. And then another name you'll hear is a lot of people were saying Malcolm Moore, the 29th ranked prospect who is a catcher out of Tennessee. I like Malcolm. However, I don't actually think the Arizona Diamondbacks need a catcher. I don't think it's a positional need for them. So I think he's someone that should be left out. You guys let me know what you guys think. I don't really think that Malcolm is a player that Arizona needs at the moment, especially with Gabby Moreno. I just think like they kind of have that position already set for the next couple of years, and I don't think it's worth wasting a first-round pick on. So these were just some of my picks that I think Arizona should go with. I really like Tommy White. I hope that's a guy we get. I really like Dakota and Jonathan Santucci. Ben Hess is a guy I really like as well. But yeah, Dakota Jordan is one of the guys I'm most excited to see. And if we can get Billy Amick or Tommy White, I think Arizona is set for a great MLB draft. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the 480 podcast. This was my segment, Kai's Corner. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And link to all the socials will be posted on our YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you guys can find us. We'll always have stuff there for every sport. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and hope to see you guys in the next one.